Hello everyone, I'm Geeta Sri. In this video, I'm going to share about Spring Boot REST API. First of all, what is REST API? A REST API is a way for two computer systems or applications to communicate using HTTP technologies, which is found in web browsers and servers. So the basic flow architecture of this Spring Boot APIs is like whenever a client sends some request, and it will go to controller first, and the controller will map that using endpoints, and it will go to service layer where the actual logic is performed on the data using some repositories and databases. So and then it is mapped to JPA with model classes, and if there is no error, then the web page is written to the user. So we'll generate four classes generally, like entities, controllers, services, and repositories. So let's see how it is implemented in Spring Boot. Here I created many objects like app insights, applications, audit header, flows, and process. So we'll see one object like here process, where I created process.java, process controller.java, process repositories, process services. So this is process.java, where you can see the entities of that process like process name and description, and these are the getter and setter methods. And this is a process controller, and here you can see all the CRUD operations like post, get by ID, put, and delete. We use some annotations here like post mapping, get mapping, and put mapping, and delete mapping, and these are the endpoints of that methods, and it is dependent to the process service. And so this is a process service class where you can find the dependency with the auto wired with the process repositories, and this is where we'll get actual logic. And in process repositories, you can see the process repository class, which is extending some MongoDB repositories with where it is actually the database which I used, MongoDB. And now let's see it in Postman. So for creating a record in a process object, you need to set this method to post and this URL process, and you need to type some JSON code like process name and description, and then send. As you can see, some random ID is generated with the process name and description which we gave. You can check it out in MongoDB Compass. So this is the MongoDB Compass, and this is Boomi process which we created. And when we refresh this, you can see process 1 and test 1 is created successfully. Now for getting all the records, you need to change this URL to get process and set this method to get, and just need to send the request. Now you can see all the records which are there, they are given in response. And next, if we want to access particular response like particular record, then we need to copy this ID and paste in the URL with the get method, and you just need to send. You can see only that particular ID record is given as a response. Now in the same way, we can delete this record also. You just need to change this to delete process and change this method to delete, and this process 1 test will get deleted. So process with this ID is deleted successfully. You can check it out in MongoDB Compass. So this is the MongoDB Compass. Now this should get deleted, so we'll just refresh it again. As you can see, the record is deleted. So now I'll show some test cases which I wrote, and I wrote it in process controller test.java. For any classes we can write the test cases. Here I wrote for process control test.java, and we should write it in source/test/java. These are all for the other objects and other classes, and here we'll start with this annotation web MVC test, and this is the class which we are writing, so we'll name it there. And it is auto-wired with mock MVC and object mapper, and we'll mock some classes. Here I mocked the process service class, and after every, whenever the particular test case is executed, this before each will execute, and this is the test case for creating the record in the process, and this is for testing the get all process, and this is for testing the get process by ID, and this is for testing delete process. And when we execute this class using run as JUnit test, you can see there are no errors, 0 errors, and all the test cases has run successfully. So this is how we'll write some APIs in using Spring Boot and perform some CRUD operations and do some testings on them. Thank you.